François, est-ce que tu as une idée de ce qui t'attend avec Heidi?
Je suis complètement à la merci.
Alors, faut pas partir sur cet esprit-là, parce que là, elle va te manger tout cru. Hein. Mais bon, ça va bien, je crois qu'on est là. Appelle au secours si tu as besoin.
Ça marche, j'ai remarqué les sorties vidéo.
Ouais, t'as.
Welcome to Beyond the Plate, presented by Cult MTL. This episode, I had the unexpected pleasure of visiting Chef François-Emmanuel Nicol at his award-winning restaurant, Tanière, in Quebec City. Enjoy this quick morsel thanks to Emeric and Pascal of the On est dans le jeu podcast. When you come to this restaurant, how do the people respond when they walk through that door?
They feel a little bit scared, I think, and that's the goal. The entrance is very dark. When we wanted to build a mystery, so you start with this very dark alley, but the person that welcome you, she already know who you are, and you're like, okay, what's gonna happen to me? And now the guests came to this room that we are sitting right now, and we send you first 6 bites with ingredients that you probably never heard of, but they are all growing around our house, and people don't really know them. But this is just to put you in this very special place, and then we start to go up and up and up with the bites to like say, okay, this is gonna be a good night, trust us. And then when the guests they move for the main parts, they are ready and they are in perfect mindset to go for the rest of the menu.
So can you tell me how Tanière came to be? Is it from your mind? Is it from your heart?
I think it was all the drives of Fred that say, okay, we're gonna reopen the restaurant. I don't think I would have done it just by myself to do something that big. And so we really pushed us to do this. And then when we find this place, we were walking around and I was like, okay, there is those 4 rooms, we have to do something special with it. We were walking in the building, everything was empty, dusty, and one time, I think we came up with that idea of, okay, maybe we can have the guests move room to room. How many guests can we fit into this very weird layout? And now we can do up to 62 guests, and we're 30 staff members to do those 62 guests. I think this is the build-up of what we've done in the past 5 years. When we opened, we were rated number 1st in Quebec City in TripAdvisor, so just within a few months. And then we shut down for 2 years. For the COVID, like everybody else, we had to do several things to make it happen because we had a ton of debt. And then it all started to roll so fast. All the accolades that came with Hourriez or Relais Chateau. So there is always a little push to say, okay, guys, you're doing the right thing, keep pushing. So that was a very crazy ride.
When you were a child, do you think you were maybe a bit of a mad scientist in the making? I mean, I'm trying to understand how little boy François-Emmanuel became award-winning chef in such a high-level, sophisticated, cerebral place. I'm just desperate to...
I started to work at a restaurant, Ashton in Quebec, like Poutine bar. I decided to totally stop working in restaurant. That was just part-time job, and at the time I was studying science to be a captain on the Coast Guard. And then I met a chef. His name is Fabrice, and Fabrice Cojodan. Fabrice started to teach me all the basics of the restaurant. I started to fall in love with the job. I finished my science degrees, and I decided to go to Tanière³ instead.
Really?
Yeah.
Once you graduated, did anybody come over and say to you, François-Emmanuel, you have a gift and you must take this gift and do something big with it? Like, did anybody tap you on the shoulder?
I got the scholarship and I thought I will work in a restaurant as a sous chef or a chef. in another great restaurant, not come back to Quebec City. But my girlfriend, she's a teacher, so she had to come back in Quebec City. And then this is when I met Fred. Maybe like I was back in Quebec for just a month. I started to look for a job, and I just walked in the restaurant Legend, and he looked at my resume and he said, "Okay, you're never quitting this place."
Okay. Can you tell me, as you got a little bit older, when you made the decision to really take it to the next level?
I was in the Mirazur at Menton for a stage for 4 months, and there was Alex Atala that came in from Brazil, and he said in Brazil, if you wanted to have fine dining a few years ago, you would have to eat Italians or French. And now people start to look at Brazil because they dig into the forest, they have those crazy wild honeys, a lot of plants. So this is when I chose to really dig into the terroir and to
Literally.
yeah. And I met Fred, the former chef of La Tanière. At the time, he had already closed La Tanière, and he was working at Legend in Saint-Paul, Rue Saint-Paul area in Quebec. And we went to see a biologist in Lac Saint-Jean area. His name is Fabien Girard, and this guy he wrote books about plants. And I have a strong connection with Fabien since then. We text quite often when he discovers new ways to eat a plant, because when you have a plant, there is so many parts that you can discover and other ways that you can cook it. Like behind us right now, this is all plants infused in alcohol. Sometimes you have a dish in a restaurant, and if you close your eyes and you don't know where you are, you can be anywhere in the world. And this is sometimes can be a good meal, but I don't think it is a great meal. A great meal should put you in a very specific terroir, and you really have to understand the culture of the place by having this meal. So now, instead of like just ordering fancy produce, yes, I have caviar on my menu, but the caviar, it's from Yellow Sturgeon of Quebec. For our guests to taste these fruits for the first time, or this berry for the first time, this is something special that you cannot have anywhere else in the world. So I think that brings luxury to the table, and all the work behind it, that's luxurious too, because to have a guy go in the forest for hours to find those specific fruits, there is a ton amount of work and passion behind it.
I'm telling you, Chef, that I have been dreaming of coming here for so long. You gave me an experience that far exceeded anything I could have ever imagined, and you really do give a sense of masterpiece theater. I felt like the patron of the arts. Like I had my ticket and I was all dressed up and the curtains open, and a moment that will last forever. No matter if I eat at 5 million restaurants, I will always remember my night here with you and your beautiful team. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming by. It was a pleasure.
Merci.
Avec plaisir.
Truthfully, off camera, even though, in my mind, this was not something that I thought I would be allowed to go to, ever get into. It felt like something so unattainable. And then I see that it's just like this smushy little kid, like, you know, like you're just so actually accessible. My goal and my job, I feel, with you is to take people who think like me, they can't be here and that they can't get here or be maybe welcomed here is so false. But it is a little bit of the mystery and the allure could get confused with it can never be me. You have to save up. And yes, it's not A&W or La Belle Province.
Yeah.
It's a moment in time and it could be your paycheck.
Yeah.
But if you love it and it's something memorable in your life that you want to pay tribute to, I also want them to know that this is something that they can come and take that hard-earned money if this is where they want to put it and be forever grateful.
This is what brings the most pressure, because some guests are coming here and you know that this is a very special moment for them. So you really have to put the bar high.